Aquil, Zeus. Like, people are already comfortable winning the game that way. Ozzy Dahakas, things like that. With new Shadowcraft, it's just slower now. So, you know, maybe they're not as comfortable with it, that kind of thing. So now we're just seeing a whole slew of other things. This is so cool.
Yeah. There we go. Glow. Ooh, what a fantastic room. We have the glow from the window, too.
That's right.
Very nice.
Glow stage and glow on camera.
You know, it's very lovely because over here in Burbank, California, it is very dark outside.
Very dark.
And we are watching players play from across the ocean in the Southeast Asia and Oceania region. And you can see it is very much daytime for them.
Very much daytime. We can see it from Igni's cam, too. He's got the daylight shining and things like that. Let's hop into the new card adjustment for Magic Illusionist. So, Arthur, talk to me. What do you think about the change?
Magic Illusionist, I think the best way to put it is, in many situations where Magic Illusionist was something you could just spam, click, and drop, especially on turn 2, you would just say, go, do it, you know, do your thing. Now there are considerations of, like, there are vulnerabilities, right? If I play this now, there are some very efficient trades that can make into it, and eliminating sigils, which really hurts.
Huge.
And making maximum use out of certain things like Lyriel, even things we talked about Belinus and his interactions, very, very dangerous against, you know.
Very hard to actually keep sigils in play if Magic Illusionist is your go-to option, where it always used to be. Now it's a little bit harder. Even on Evolution, only having 3 defense, so hard to trade into things and still stay alive.
Yeah, and I really think, you know, a lot of people talked about a sigil is approximately based on the kinds of cards Burn Rune plays around. The sigil can equate to 3 damage, maybe 4, maybe 6, depending on the Mage of Nightfall scenario, right? There are very big values you can convert a rune into, if you think about it that way. I think what a lot of people kind of compared it to is, oh, Magic Illusionist does about 2, right? So it's worth it to take him down, right? But what you have to be thinking is, it does do 2 damage, but it's also 2 defense that you're fighting through, right? So it's like, do you want to commit that particular card instead of swinging face, swinging into the Illusionist? Do you want to lose that card in the trade and maintain the Illusionist on board? Because then it's not just 2 damage, right? It's 4 damage because you lost your follower and it's still there and it's swinging at you.
I'm going to make a bold prediction right now and say that in the next couple of weeks, Magic Illusionist is going to find its way out of Burn Rune. The reason I say that is because you can't really afford for your sigils to be that fragile. When you have them in play, you need them to affect, and especially with Mage of Nightfall, like on curve plays now, I think Mage of Nightfall is just a much more damage forward play, and it's just too much of a liability, especially with Lyriel's coming back into the metagame now, to have really good use out of Magic Illusionist. Like, I don't think that the card will stay. I think Evelicia even, hint, might even come in over it because it will always consistently deal damage. It will not spike your sigils from play. You can play it on curve without worry of a first turn sigil dying. I think it will be removed from the deck.
Much like in high school, that one kid who did Magic was popular for a while, and then it got old.
Perfect. That's so true. Yeah, he would you know, enchant your eyes, and then the next week you'd be like, you know what? I've learned your tricks. Not so impressive anymore.
Are you one of those guys? I feel like I've asked you this question. Are you one of those guys that always? Oh no, you told me you stopped doing that because it just ruined everything for you.
Oh, when you actually look behind the scenes at Magic. Oh yeah. By the way, okay, PSA guys, if you guys like watching Magic, never watch one of those shows that's like behind the scenes Magic, because Magic will get ruined forever for you, and it's a bad time. Magic's supposed to be entertaining. Don't learn about it unless you want to perform it. Okay. All right. PSA.
Yeah, but then you'll get unpopular like Mr. Illusionist. So.
That's true. It's a, you know, magicians go through.
Maybe it's a perfect run
rough
for me because I'm already unpopular. So
there you go. Maybe you should just start doing Magic. Yeah.
Shining Bell Ringer Angel, demonstrating her strength here, drawing options, and we know how far draw goes for a neutral forest list, right?
Yep.
If you don't have the beast on curve, what are you doing?
That's right. However, against this draw that Meladog has,
there's a lot of damage on board.
And with the Wizard of Savage to refill as well, this is just, I feel like, too little too late, unfortunately. Yeah, just ways to use all cards in hand right now.
Yeah. To be fair, knocking down 8 damage here is... Okay, you can still evolve something. Okay, that's not crazy. I'm not crazy.
Yep. Has options around this. Really just depends on...
I thought he was going to let that stay and was like, there's no world. You don't know if there's an
area
on the other side. You can't just let that happen.
Yeah, you can't let it happen.
And especially, you know, what's interesting is now that you're playing things like Bellringer and Aaron, you could also find yourself in a scenario where it's like, I can't fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extra damage. Again, we see another player just straight out casting the mutagenic bolt instead of using it with Wizardess so that you can get more value off of it later or really like it.
Oh no! That was such a good option for removal. But Bahamut, his buttocks are too big. He took 2 seats on the bus. And Elf Twin Assault tried to get on, and Bahamut said, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but unfortunately, without any evolution orbs left for Glow, he doesn't really have a good play here. I think Aaron might have been one of the better plays, but because that evolution orb still exists for Meladog, you can just roll right over it with any follower and just kind of push damage. And this, I believe, if Meladog can... Oh, he's already got all the damage. He's got Piercing Rune, he's got Chain Lightning. This is already over.
Yep. Piercing Rune. There it is. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. And this is what we were talking about with the neutral, I like to affectionately call it wallet force, because you have to play so many legendaries to kind of get the effects you want for the end game. I don't know if it's going to be able to hang with these decks that go faster. However, let's see if it can put the Reanimate deck to the test.
This is going to be real interesting. I almost wonder in that scenario against Burn Rune, we talk about Forest versus Burn Rune is really great because you have a lot of healing.
Yes.
Now, the important turns for neutral forest is not so much when that healing kicks in for traditional forest, right? Because that's around the 6, 7, 8 turns.
Right, they have multiple errands. Like, we would have saw, like, 2 or 3 errands in a row. Elf Queen is an option in regular forest decks.
Whereas in neutral forest, you're incented to play that Beauty and the Beast. I wonder if there's healing options that you can go for in the early turns that actually helps that out.
Well, we did see Happy Pig in the list, and Happy Pig, I feel like, fills a nice slot in all the neutral decks. It's just really good. And on Evolve, you don't get full stats off of Happy Pig, but you do get 3 life instead of 1.
Yes.
So it's actually really nice.
Interesting. Glow opted to keep.
Ooh. Man, Meladog looking like a brick dragon hand already.
He's got the Andrew Alphas, okay?
Okay. All right. We've got a curve. We've got some light removal. All right. Maybe these Zeuses won't hold me down too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zeus tends to wait until the last possible moment when he feels he is most necessary. As a god of gods, you know, you kind of have to do that.
That's right. And as Igni said late in the game, like, the feels that your opponent has when you've played your 4th or 5th Kawi, I'm assuming it feels much the same with the 3rd, 4th, 5th Zeus as well, when it just nonstop happens at the end of the game.
Now, the big thing here is, again, Beauty and the Beast, whereas we saw in the last game, can be transformed, but cannot be destroyed by Kawi's effect.
That's right. And because it does not get destroyed, you do not gain the defense back.
So that could be a scenario where you play the Kawi and the Beauty and the Beast just shrugs.
Yep.
Or you even just remove it with an Elf Twin Assault or something like that, and the Beauty and the Beast says, great, I'm going to hit you in the face now.
Yep. That is a big cornerstone here because Shadowcraft really doesn't have a way to beat Beauty and the Beast. It has to do it through battle.
Not even things like the Lurching Corpses and the Necro Assassins, not even that.
None of it. And with the late game that Glow is packing against a regular mid-shadow deck, I think there's a nice little edge there. The Sockquill, Israfil package, the Bahamuts, those are naturally the ways you beat a long game against Shadowcraft. But against this Shadowcraft deck, I don't know. I don't know.
Interactions never imagined before.
That's right.
Well, perhaps imagined, but not quite seen as often.
We have not seen either of these 2 decks in the way that they are built right now ever in competitive play before.
Look how beautiful the new Bellringer Angel art is, by the way.
Man,
fantastic.
She got huge.
Yeah.
So much more colorful.
She, you know, between expansions, went to the back room and started lifting weights.
That's right.
I'll show Unica.
I learned how to draw an extra card.
You know that whole period of time where everybody was playing Unica and nobody was playing Bellringer?
Oh, yeah.
That's what Bellringer was doing.
Yep, she was training hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Unica was just dancing.
That's right.
Wow. Just playing the Aisha says, no, none of this.
Nope. Clear board. Awesome play. We talked about this a lot with Aisha. Not just a good late game option, awesome mid game option, a clear board. Not only does it destroy both the followers Glow has, but it sticks around to tell the story.
Gains no stats on evolution, but Meladog chose to spend the orb because he wanted a double swing, which it does gain, to entirely wipe out and perhaps just mill Glow more cards.
That's right. One card that I think will actually get a lot more popular over the coming weeks is Hector. So Hector has seen the light of day before. It's a very good card. But we've seen it kind of like hang out on the outskirts now, maybe in a neutral blood deck, maybe here and there. I feel like neutral decks will come more to the forefront as they are still very consistent, and I think Hector is a huge part of that. Hector is one of the best cards you can play on turn 5, if not the best card you can play on turn 5 for board swing.
There it is, that Lurching Corpse plus a Demon Eater, and I think if you're going to gain value off of it, get it before that Beauty and the Beast comes into play, because... Yeah. And Meladog still might not be happy, right? You've got a 2 damage follower and a 1 damage follower, and unbeknownst to Meladog, but Glow has the hand of a true Forestcraft player because he's managed to pull Beauty and the Beast twice, and this time he is on the draw, which is, you know, a downside in some ways because you don't get to the Beauty and the Beast quite as fast, but is an upside because Evolution Orb plus Beauty and the Beast equals very sad time for your opponent.
Bad news.
0.
Shrugs off the damage from Belinus like he didn't even exist.
Doesn't want any Spaghettos. Or Spaghetto. Doesn't want the Spaghetto.
Yeah.
Because Spaghetto is a singular.
But this version of Shadowcraft actually does have followers big enough to evolve eventually into Beauty and the Beast. Unfortunately...
Is he going to try Kawi?
Not this time. I think maybe you have to, just to prevent the big smash. You can't let the area turn ever happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care if it's lethal this turn or not. You can't let it happen.
Is Elf Twin Assault enough to go past this? Let's see. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's got 6 neutrals.
If he puts Isterfill into play, this is going to pop the Isterfill and actually gain benefit now.
No, it's still targeted onto the Beauty.
Oh, right, because it's bigger.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so you're actually just prevented with Kawi. So Beauty and the Beast is just awesome protection.
Yeah.
That's right.
And saves the Elf Twin. This got real difficult. You have another Kawi, but the Elf Twin is there. The Kawi is not safe. It's not safe.
So how do you beat Reanimate Kawis? Beating the Beast. Yeah, literally can't do anything against it.
Meladog has to be feeling pretty bad. Like, who brings
who brings this? Why am I playing against Beauty and the Beast?
The trickster becomes the tricked.
Yeah, just no other options here for Meladog. Just
is 7 going to save him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, now it's not.
Yeah.
I guess it could because the card could have just swung in on his turn. But there it is. With the Elf Twin Assault, 7 damage, and the Beauty and Beast continues to shrug off destruction effects and damage.
Live through 2 Kawis, some Belinus damage.
Insane.
Insane.
Insane value.
Insane. I'm just going to play my 6-drop, and your entire deck gets invalidated. How do you feel?
That was the mini Aegis version.
That's right.
Beauty and the Beast. We don't actually, strangely enough, I feel like we don't commonly get to see that. Most of the times I feel like there's some struggle, and then it gets dealt with in neutral forest, can't quite have the card advantage or cards in hand that it needs to finish the game out. Right. I feel like that's a typical way these games go, but sometimes that Beauty and the Beast is beautiful.
Too good. Yeah.
And beastly.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's right. Stick to Magic, Rainey.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, they say a good performer is really what Magic is all about.
That's right.
You do have to be comedic in nature and a showman of sorts.
That's right.
Neither of which I possess the qualities of.
I disagree a little bit, but
just a little.
Just a little bit. I think you're quite funny, Arthur. I enjoy speaking with you. So we've talked about this matchup. A little bit different type of mid-shadow deck.
Yes.
If Daria can go off early, Meladog at least has options in the late game to heal.
Oh, Mike, are you kidding?
Always. If there's 1, there's 2. Always feels. Magic Ring, folks. Play
never
1.
Travel alone.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Play 1 Magic Ring in your deck, folks. Just do it.
Oh, man. That's funny.
But with Kawi, if Meladog can get to 7 play points or more, I feel like he can just run his engine, and this is a very good deck to do it against. Take out a big follower, gain those defense points back, control the board. I think it's great.
You see Glow in a situation where he can feel safe for quite a few turns here. He's got, what, 3, 4 boosts in hand right now?
And it's interesting to note the number of Craigs and Clarks in these Daria decks now. It's not the full set of 3 each anymore. They're going a little bit more spell-heavy, so only reducing the cost of followers in your hand is not the premier effect you necessarily want. Magic Owl, of course, is. So, a little different now.
Yeah. Clark, Craig, and then the Blade Mage. The 3 dudes of Daria.
The 3 dudes. The trifecta of dudes. And realistically, I think Meladog's hand is set up quite nicely here. He has a 5-cost rush. He's got Necro Assassin to help him clear boards. He's got the Kawi already in hand. He's on the play to get the Kawi out a little bit earlier. I really like Meladog's chances in this matchup.
Yeah. I think the way that the board developed...
Uh-oh.
Meladog.
Stay with us, Meladog.
Come in.
What am I gonna do here?
Oh, no. With the toss.
Please! I actually...
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
There we go.
The thing I was about to say was that I actually want to see the way these boards develop, because this is another scenario, right? How does Kawi versus Daria and this Reanimate deck interact?
Well, I can tell you from past Daria experience that Kawis are really difficult to deal with because you can't really evolve over them, because if you do, then you
just
gain,
give them more.
Yeah, you give them more.
Yeah.
And if there are multiple Kawis, very hard. If there is a constant string of them at the end of the game, I really don't know how you fight through it.
Death Dragon Caller. Great name, by the way. Great name. Death Dragon Caller.
And it's animated looking so
What
nice.
is a Death Dragon?
That's true. What is a Death Dragon? And this is a call.
This sounds real edgy.
Yeah. So, this being an 8-play point 2/2, when it comes into play, Reanimate 10. So actually can put back a Kawi, if that's the card that you've chosen to reanimate, or a Zeus later in the game.
Oh, man. And, of course, still running Odile, which I think has just been ramping up in popularity. You know, Odile's a hard-working girl. She's been slowly trying to get people to kind of, you know, follow her performances and, you know, like
She's
an
a
idol.
dancer. Ballerina dancer, I would say.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, at the height of her popularity, I think she's basically been included in all the Shadowcraft decks.
I think you have to nowadays. It's just, again, with the major lack of big board clears, it's one of the only options that do it. If you're playing in mirror matchups of mid-shadow, really the only way to clear a full board or even interact with catacomb after catacomb boards in an efficient way. So I think Odile's found a really nice place in this metagame.
Yeah, play all your followers, because this just doesn't feel good.
Yeah. And now, with Meladog still being at 19, having access to Kawi after Kawi, he's got the Zeus endgame already in the wings. I feel like this is just going to turn right on over for Meladog into the endgame, and I don't know if Glow can really push through all of this.
Yeah. Basically, whatever you throw in is forfeit, right? Your best option here is the Chimera. Don't quite have enough play points to just do the Fiery Embrace. But either way, you're losing that Ogler without it being able to swing face, or you're losing the Chimera after you use it to pop the Kawi, and if you did that, you already lost your Ogler because he's swinging in.
Yeah, these options just aren't very good, unfortunately. And honestly, we've seen both of these Darias just sit in hand. We're already on 7 play points without him being able to play one. Can't feel good. And yeah, it's all bad. I think you just play the Daria. You have to evolve something over the Kawi so that your one Ogler can still hit face. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. There is light
All
at the
right, and got the
light at
third
the end
one.
of the tunnel here.
Got the third Daria as well. You're giving him 1 health, even though 5 damage was removed. And now evolving the Ogler. And Ogle it goes to the face of Meladog. So, Death Dragon Caller can be played this turn.
And I think it will be. I don't think there's realistically a better option, unless, you know, something like a Lurching Corpse is drawn. A Lurching Corpse draw would it'd still be gambling a little bit, but I still think it would be a really good play here.
No, 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 no.
Come on, Meladog. Please don't do this.
Meladog!
Please no. Please
I
no.
wanted to see the reanimate.
Come on. Show us the goods. There we
Yes.
go. Okay. All right. We're praying for him. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Lurching Corpse has been drawn now.
I feel so anxious right now.
I know.
What am I gonna do here?
Again, deja
The
vu.
repeated
Deja
taunts.
vu.
Oh, my goodness.
Kiddo?
Glow just unleashed the whole gamut of voice lines.
That's right. What are you doing over there, Meladog?
Oh, Meladog, please. I want to see this match play out.
Oh,
yes.
perfect. Okay, so is going to go for the gamble here.
Still has an evolution orb, so I think he has a way to force this. Wow, nice.
Perfect.
Oh, my God.
Wonderfully won that gamble.
Oh, my God.
And still with the option for Death Dragon Caller for either a Kawi next turn or just play out the Zeus in 2 turns and then repeat the Zeus if it dies. Now, here's a question, too. Glow isn't playing the Mutagenic Bolt version of Daria, but Mutagenic Bolt would actually take that combo away because it transforms those followers and they wouldn't actually
Such a strong effect.
It
Every
is such a
time
strong
you
effect.
get to transform, right, there only have been a few cards that can even do that. You know, you've got Lily, and then Mutagenic Bolt is another one. And now we have things like Fall from Grace, right? But that transformation effect is so powerful.
It just shuts off certain random things in this
There's
game.
just, it seems, you know, side games just did not put a lot of abilities in there that have lines that say cannot be transformed. You know, it's not, I mean, I would argue that it's an effect.
Yeah,
but
there's definitely no
apparently
reason
not.
to, yeah.
You know?
Can't be targeted is good enough for that.
Yeah. But Mutagenic Bolt is not.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Good days.
So I want to see if Meladog moves on and he has to play against Mutagenic Bolt, especially after already losing to a Beauty and the Beast deck. He's just like, come on.
Yeah, what's up? What's up with this?
And this is the end game I was talking about. I feel like it's just going to be really hard to fight through.
So this is actually one of the weaker Kawis, right?
Yes.
Because the high damage follower kind of got its value by doing its entirety of its damage and then only giving the 2 health rather than the 4.
But if you notice the end game that Meladog has been building up to, he's got a Zeus for the following turn, and he's got an Aisha to close the game out with all of those shadows that he's amassed. And something really cool about Meladog's deck is he doesn't have a lot of ways that actually gets rid of those shadows over the course of the game, so Aisha's a really nice top end for him.
Yeah. Again, when we talk about Rune, there's this distinct lack of anything protective, right? Wards are far and few in between. Healing is non-existent. And when you're facing an opponent that has Storm turn after turn after turn, you're just in this race, and especially Zeus with a ward on top of it, you can't even race as effectively.
Right. And this is the type of situation I was kind of talking about earlier as well. So before Daria had Dance of Death, it had a way to get through a big ward follower and just punish them for that's the only if that's the only thing you're doing, I can get around that and still deal damage to you. Without having Mutagenic Bolt in the deck, you don't have any options to really do that anymore. So a Zeus play right here still feels really good if you're Meladog, especially if you know there's no Bolt in the deck.
All right. Meladog is thinking very, very long and hard about how he wants to play out this turn. And I think really it's just about doing math, seeing if Zeus is actually a good choice to kind of protect himself here, and probably if he wants to trade or go face.
Right, and I think that the most you can really get out of this is what you can see in play. So like say for instance, no, actually the Flame Destroyer doesn't even get big enough to get rid of it itself. So if Flame Destroyer comes down along with the Craig, you're looking at 4, 9, 12 damage. Okay, never mind, it is possible. So yeah, maybe Zeus isn't the correct play here. Yeah, if you do the math, which he did, does not add up, but clearing the board seems very good following that with a Zeus.
Yes.
Also awesome. Especially because you know, 2 Daria's already down, very unlikely he has a third one going.
And, you know, whereas evolving a Zeus for a little bit of extra face damage is nice, it's not necessary. You still get what you need, and your Aisha doesn't need an evolution orb. So I think that was probably a good spend of resources there.
I like it. Basically, that's kind of what you do against Daria, right? So, like, the big thing that I was talking about, what its benefit is now, is there's not a lot of board clears. However, if you can keep Daria's board clear for the better part of the game, it's really hard for them to actually win the game.
It does start running out of gas. Now, Glow, over the course of all these turns, has been getting little bits and pieces of damage across to Meladog, hence the reason why Meladog is now at 7. There needs to be a swing turn here. Ooh.
And I think with that Flame Destroyer was a huge play. You're not going to see that in most Daria decks, but the Flame Destroyer being a 7/7 here is huge.
7/2/5.
And that's it.
He can play the Chimera, yeah.
He doesn't even need to play the
5/2.
Chimera.
There it is.
Oh, yeah, he did. It was at 8. It was at 8. That's right.
It was at 8. Yep.
Ah, unbelievable.
There it is. Glow will take the win with Daria in a scenario, you know, I do have to wonder. I feel like the Kawi, the way that he played the Kawi out, offering the opportunity for the Kawi not to hit a big heal,
right,
did end up hurting a little bit. I would have to go back and look at the game to even see if there was a possible way to play the Kawi differently in that scenario. But it is interesting, continuing to show the strength of Daria in the current metagame, right?
Even with any option that you have available to it. So, like,